got the great John Momola back in the house again. He must have really screwed up.
Yeah.
2 weeks in a row.
Yeah, stuff rolls uphill.
Yeah,
That's what they say.
He's in a lot of trouble.
I feel like we've proved that.
Yeah. He had to do the Sunday show last week, too. If we have him tomorrow, good God.
Oh, I would feel bad for him.
He's in all kinds of trouble.
I do feel bad for him.
I do, too.
No one likes listening to us.
He's in there with his head down right now saying, I feel bad for me as well.
Especially with NFL starting preseason. He's got to be busy.
Well, that might be why we got him, if I had to guess.
That's correct,
the boys were
yes.
tied up last night.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I got you. I got you.
Nice.
I thought, maybe you were in trouble or we were just fortunate, but I guess it's just schedule.
Sometimes you just gotta, do what you gotta do, Mike.
I hear you. I know. Listen,
Stuff rolls uphill.
It's one of the reasons that we hold you in such great, boss regard.
Well, I appreciate that.
Because of your willingness to put up with these horrible radio shows very early in the morning.
He's jumping on the grenade, guys.
He is. He's
jumping
a team player here.
Got to take one for the team.
That's right. That's right. One of the many pieces that makes iHeart Media great. Mm-hmm. Good stuff. Good stuff.
Secret sauce.
That's it. That's it. Lots of stuff to talk about today. D-Hub's here rolling back into town from the Gulf Council meeting, so we've got lots of stuff to cover there. We've got my trip to Louisiana, epic, big bull reds to talk about. So all of that good stuff. Our weather report.
We've got city scandals to talk about.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that.
City scandals. We've got Gags and Amberjack opening up. There's a lot to talk about today.
We should probably tell John Momola that I've made an oath early. I'm going to try to stay calm for the whole show.
This is cute.
I'm going to try to stay calm the whole show. I'm not going to get too excited.
Can you write that down, John?
Mark
that
tape.
on the
Mark the tape.
Because we're going to have to cut that together. Right. It'll be really good, like a before and after.
How about our weather? What are we looking at? It looked like it was going to be okay today. We got a chance of some rain.
You ready to get worked up already?
No, maybe.
So weather is definitely a little bit more moderate this week, I would say. Overall, we're looking at more of like a 10 to 15, definitely not a super flat, calm summer week. We're starting to get into more of that springtime pattern. Fall pattern. We talked about this last weekend where it's kind of more of the frontal boundaries coming down and stalling, and that's what's causing a lot of the rain over this weekend. We had a lot of rain there, Thursday.
Early, too. It rained early Thursday.
Yeah, a lot of the day. And then yesterday it was still pretty rainy. Today the rain chance has gone down, but still similar situation. This front has just stalled on top of us. And that occluded front, or warm front as they call it, it's sitting there, and it's going to create a little bit of a pressure gradient. So through this week, we'll have a little bit more of an increased wind, a little bit more of a confused wind pattern, wind shifting quite a bit, not really making any sense as far as like a dominant direction. But mostly out of the east, I would say, but definitely more cloud cover, higher rain chance. And that's helping the water temperatures creep down. Definitely seen that over the last couple days. And in the morning, it's a little cooler because we're getting a lot more cloud cover over the area. So that trend will kind of continue through this week. And then this upcoming weekend, we may or may not see a little bit of a disturbance. It's still early to tell, but right now, this upcoming weekend looks like it might get a little bit more windy. So through the week, looking pretty good. We're on a last quarter moon Monday. So tides are moving pretty good right now, but they're probably going to slow down a little bit this week. We've got a lot of freshwater influx. Definitely kind of Debbie brought all that fresh water. It was looking dark and murky, river water, tannic, but then started to clear up, started to look good. And I was like, oh, this is nice. And then it rained all day.
Yeah.
So now it's kind of right back. Not quite as bad as it was behind Debbie, but definitely around the beaches and passes, at least in John's Pass. It is very dark right again. So
that fresh water brings a lot of redfish. So this time of year we get a big push of redfish, and it usually has a lot to do with the amount of fresh water we're getting. We're starting to see schools of redfish around, so things are looking up. We'll talk about that and more here soon. We got our weather update brought to you by our good friends at Reese Windows and Doors. Again, they're Florida's leading window and door company. Nobody does it better. Over 50 years in the business. They offer free installation, most windows and doors installed in just 6 weeks. They only use in-house installers, no freelance contractors. Their work comes with a double lifetime warranty. And what does that mean for you? It means you never pay for warranty. And when you sell your house, The warranty on your windows transfers to the new owners, which adds value to your home. Nobody does it better. Visit reeswindows.com for more information. So
Those guys came out fishing with us last week.
the Reese guys?
Yeah.
Nice.
Fishy guys.
I was thinking about that this morning with our new partner, Innovative Pool and Spa, coming on board. It just seems like we're stuck in this fishy partner mode. You know what I mean?
That's how we roll.
I mean, our good friend Chris Myers, Fishy Cat. David Torres, Affordable Roofing, Fishy Cat. Yeah, there's a theme here.
It's funny how that works.
It is. It's a beautiful thing.
Is it because they like to work with us, or is it because we like to work with them?
Yes.
Is it the chicken or the egg? I'm wondering.
I don't know. Why did they cross the road?
Yeah.
It's all good.
Quality radio.
That's right. High-end stuff here. Educational. Early morning educational.
Yeah.
Trip to Louisiana was good. Let's start with the fun stuff.
Yeah.
The drive is never great.
Dude, how long was that drive from here to Louisiana, trailer and a boat?
It literally when I jump in the truck, it usually says 10 and a half hours from my house to Venice Marina.
Brutal.
But you're looking at a 12-hour drive because you're going to stop and even with
add
the diesel.
an hour and a half to that drive.
Well, if you drive like a human, you're pulling I'm pulling my boat, and you can
That's
get
a
after
lot of time there,
you can
bud.
get after it a little bit. Well, it doesn't take a full. You lose an hour going that way. So yeah.
Seems like a long time.
Well, when's the last time you drove it pulling a boat?
I'm not. All right, calm down.
I'm just an honest question, bro. You're looking at me like, that seems like a long time. Have you done it?
Well, adding an hour and a half to your GPS's recommendation.
You do know there's a Buc-ee's between here and there, right?
All right. See, now we're getting to the bottom
There's a
of
Buc-ee's.
things.
You get the DEF. You get to load up on the DEF. You get to load up on the gas.
I don't know what
Then you
got to
go inside, and
I don't
good
put that
for
in
you.
my truck.
Good for you.
I'm a criminal.
It's a beautiful thing. Yes, you are. The one thing about that is I always dread the drive, and the minute you get in the bayou and you start sight fishing 40-inch redfish coming down the
forget
shoreline,
about the drive.
I say it in almost every episode I film out there. Like, this is why you drive 12 hours. This is why it's worth it to drive 12 hours, because the first eat that happens 6 feet in front of the boat, where if you just flip out a bait and they just crush it and it looks like somebody dropped a bowling ball off the moon, you're like, yes, this is why we come right here.
And that drive to Louisiana is not as bad because of what you said. You lose that hour, so it seems like it's a little easier. The drive back, brutal.
Yeah, a little brutal. Yeah, my lovely bride talked me into audiobooks.
Yeah,
which I don't sit down very much, so it's hard for me to read a book.
Yeah, and you asked for recommendations, and I sent you like 17.
Yeah, but that's good. I needed them because I actually really enjoyed the book. As a matter of fact, this is how long ago, it was a long time ago, Ronnie D recommended this book to me. That's how long ago. And I've had the book, the hard copy, at the house for, I don't know, how long Ronnie D been gone, John Momola? A while.
About 2.5 years now. Yeah.
I've had this book forever, and I've wanted to read it, and we put it on the audiobook, and I started the book, and it made the trip fly by. It was great.
Who loaded it up for you?
Oh, Beth, absolutely. 100%. I did not do it myself. I don't need you in there laughing, John Momola. I can see you. I have a camera on you. He's got his head down. He's laughing at me. That's not necessary.
We were all wondering. Someone had to ask.
100%. She put the Audible on my phone. She found the book. She loaded it. Absolutely.
She hooked up the Bluetooth to your truck.
No, I did that myself. That I can handle. There's instructions. I can follow instructions.
Oh, okay.
But anyway, it was a great book, actually. Robert O'Neill, The Operator.
Yeah.
It's a great book. The guy who fired the shot that killed Osama bin Laden.
Nice.
Great book. Great book. Super
nonfiction. I love it.
Yeah. Yeah, it was good SEAL stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Great books.
Yeah.
What was it? Extreme Ownership. That was a Navy SEAL book as well.
Yeah, I'm going to have to check that one out, too. Yeah, I'm digging the whole Navy SEAL thing.
Yeah.
I like the way they just
it's a good
shoot
trend.
bad guys in the face.
Love those guys.
I do. I just
America.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, he was like, yeah, we kind of had to put Osama bin Laden back together and make sure it was really him. I'm like, I love that. That is awesome.
Great book.
Right? Yeah, that's great. And it was dark, so he didn't even see it coming. That's beautiful.
Yeah, my drive to Biloxi was about 9 hours, so not quite as bad as 12. And not trailing a boat made it a little easier, but I never did catch up to you.
No,
Never did catch
I
it.
never saw you. Greg DeVault. It was funny because Captain Greg DeVault said he happened to be coming and going.
Mm-hmm.
Like he was going home as I was going there for a short trip. He literally passed me coming home, and then he said he passed me again as he was coming back, and I was
that's
leaving.
funny.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy. So, but yeah, good trip. Lots of big redfish. You know what's interesting too, and we spotted a fish kill while we were there. And it was interesting to me. I fished with a guy by the name of Capt Mike Fournette. He's kind of a legendary guy. Been guiding out there for 40 years. He's like in my opinion, he's kind of like Scott Moore. He's just this legendary figure. It's been doing it forever. Very conservation minded, very professional, fishes tournaments, just kind of a legendary guy out there.
Mm-hmm.
It was interesting to me how the politics are the same. The gripes are the same.
Dude, they're going through it politically in
the
Louisiana.
pokey boats out there
Yeah.
are not that popular.
Mm-hmm.
And they drop a lot of waste.
There is a bycatch in any net fishery.
Yeah. And that leaves these giant slicks of beautiful redfish dead.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's pretty scary. You know, I mean, that's how you find these big schools of redfish. You look for the pokey schools, get in there with popping corks. Now, we didn't do that. We were actually fishing inside of the pokey schools up on the beach, sight fishing instead of doing the popping cork thing, which I've done many times, and it's a lot of fun, and you can have great success doing it. But the second day I was there, we started getting reports of this big fish kill out where we were, and we saw some pokey boats, and Mike Fournette just lit up like a Christmas tree. And it was interesting to me because we live in this world here in Tampa with the radio show and everything I do, the politics of fishing, the red tides, the piney points, so many issues that we deal with, the sand in Johns Pass. I mean, so many stuff. And then when you're sitting there doing a meal with Mike Fournette after a long day on the water, and him and his sons, who are both captains and guides out of Redfish Lodge there, they're going through the same stuff, talking about the pokey boats and talking about this. And, you know, this guy lied to us and said there wasn't pokey boats within 100 miles of that area. Well, we were just there.
Mm-hmm.
We saw 3 pokey boats in there. What do you mean? You're straight up lying, or you don't know where your fleet is.
And all that sand shifting out of the mouth of the river, they're going through a lot of different things.
There's a lot of changes in the marsh.
And a lot of loss of infrastructure from the storms as well.
Yeah, big time. Yeah, habitat has been a major issue there. Just an interesting place. If you've never been to the Louisiana marsh, I say this every time I go there, you should put it on your to-do list. It's not a place. Venice, Louisiana is not a place to go to for nightlife or anything like that. There's
nothing to do.
Zero.
But you will
nothing.
fish
Right.
like crazy.
You can't even go to the 7-Eleven. There isn't a 7-Eleven in the bayou. Okay, just trust me. That being said,
But they do sell Boonman at the gas station.
yes, they do. And fishing is incredible. So lots of stuff to talk about on the other side. Phone lines are open 1-800-969-9352. Light these phone lines up. Let's talk a little fishing. We'll be back.
Anywhere in the country that sells Boonman at the gas station is good with me.
Did you know tap water can shorten the life of your pipes and even worse, be dangerous to your family's health?
Yeah, I went there to fish one time. It was remember Old Bayside? Old Bayside Lures? Yeah. They talked us into going over there for some reason. I don't know why, but I don't know if it was like an opportunity that my dad took, or if it was like the guy was trying to show us something. I don't know. Long story short, we went over to Venice, Louisiana, and stayed in this house that the Old Bayside guy was partnered us in, or maybe he was trying to create like a fishing destination. Maybe that's what it was. Is he was trying to set up this place where people could go and stay and then go fishing. Yeah, like a lodge. And it was this old plantation style home, like right on the levee. It was beautiful, beautiful home, super historic. Food was crazy good, and we fished inshore the first day for redfish and just destroyed them. It was crazy. Like, you got bored of catching big redfish. And then we went offshore 2 days in a row, and it was fun. But that was right before Katrina. I think it was like 2003 or 2004, and dude, Katrina came through and destroyed that house. Everything was gone, that whole area.
I didn't fish there till right after Katrina, and we stayed at Woods and Water did a deal with them. We walked into the cabins had all been redone. They were beautiful. These like log cabin looking things. The place is still there. I drive by it every time. We walked in and there was a mark
On the wall.
up on the ceiling at like, I want to say it was either 14 or 18 feet.
Yeah.
He was like, "You see that line up there?" I'm like, "Yeah." That's where the water was. I'm like, "What?" He goes, "Yeah, we put that line up there just so we could always tell people that's where the water was."
Crazy.
What?
Yeah.
I mean, bro, when you drive down that bad boy and you're looking at levees on both sides and you know that the water's higher than you are, it's a mental problem.
Yeah.
Like
that whole area is just like so unique. You're driving on all those bridges to get out there, and mosquitoes are the size of seagulls. It's crazy.
Yeah.
We went to, because I've been to Louisiana quite a bit for boat building. We've bought a lot of boats out there. We've built a lot of boats out there. All our boats, really. But dude, you go out there to the marsh. We went to go check out a boat at Fouchon, and the boat was not being used. The owner wasn't around town, but he said we could go out and check it out. And it was like parked away from the marina, like out in a field. Like they just pull them out and just park them over in the field. So we're like, this is kind of weird. He dropped us a GPS pin, so we had the GPS coordinates of where the boat was sitting, because that's how it was literally like dumped on the side of the road. So we pull up to this boat and we're like, oh, it's pretty cool. We open the doors and the rental car to like go check out the boat. We're like, what's all over the boat? Like it's a white hull, but I was like, well, it looks weird. Like there's something on it. We got up to it, dude. There was so many mosquitoes on the boat. It looked like it was like it had something splattered on it. I thought it was like blood or something on the side of the boat, but no, it was just a herd of mosquitoes.
They're so bad, dude.
Dude, we got up close to the boat, started looking at it, and they just like arose off of it and started to attack us. Dude, it was terrible. Terrible.
We were down in Chuckalesky. This was years. I have to tell you the story. Remind me to tell the story.
Yeah.
Mosquito story down there. Fun. I got locked out in the morning. Woody got in the shower.
Yeah.
I went outside to smoke a cigarette. I was smoking back then.
Yeah.
I got locked out. So I was beating on the door like someone was stabbing me in the face with a freaking 6-inch knife. Dude, it was crazy.
Welcome back. 624 here at the iHeart Media Empire. Whether you need a shingle, metal, tile, or maybe a flat roof, our friends at Affordable Roofing Systems are your safest choice for repairs or replacements. Over 3 decades of roofing experience, but Affordable Roofing Systems guide you through this important process. They're defined by integrity, respect, and honesty, and have a professional approach to doing business. Give them a call today at 1-888-397-ROOF for your free estimate, or visit them online at affordableroofingflorida.com. We've got a programming note for you. Tuesday, October 8th. We're going to be back at Bartow Ford. It's going to be a good one. We got myself. We got D. Hubbs. We got the great Captain Travis Thompson going to join us. So we got inshore. We got offshore. We've got on land. We got a alligator guide, duck hunting guide, tarpon guide in Captain Travis Thompson. Travis is also extremely well versed in the political ins and outs of this Yes on 2 movement that Dylan and I are both knee deep in. As always, Dylan is probably waist deep in it, just grinding as he always is. But it's going to be a great opportunity to get those questions answered for you. We can make this final push as we head towards November 5th to make sure everybody really, really understands the ins and outs of voting yes on 2 and how important it is, so that when you're sharing it with your family, your friends, all that stuff, you'll know everything about it. Again, we're going to be talking fishing. We got Dylan there. We got me there. Travis is a great outdoorsman, great angler as well, runs charters. So we've got a lot of stuff. We're going to answer all kinds of questions for you. Silver Ring serving up the groceries as always. Our good friend Dana out there at Silver Ring Cafe in Riverview. Bull Bay Rods is giving away rods. Ingle Coolers is giving away coolers. We'll have some real animal swag. D Hubs always brings some Hubbard's goodies. So just come on out and see us. It's going to be just a great night to get together, talk fishing, talk yes on 2. It's going to be a good one. So yeah. Bartow Ford always take good care of us.
And with Travis, you and me there, I mean, literally, Not so much me, but you could ask anything you want and it can get answered. It'll be a really,
we should have you covered. I mean, the good news is between the three of us, if we don't know the answer, we can make up a dandy. that will be, we'll have that ability for sure.
It's going to be a great time.
We always have a good time at Bartow Ford. It's just a great venue for that. They're just super, super good people. Mike Beatonbow, the GM, and it's just a great group of people out there at Bartow Ford. They do a great job, and again, we got great support with Silver Inn Cafe. We're going to eat a little bit, so it's all good.
Get there early, because I will be.
Get there early. Don't be late.
Yeah, the Devil Crab's going to go fast.
It's a tough timeline because it's 6 to 8 p.m. They normally close at 7. They stay open till 8 on the nights we're there. And I know that 6 o'clock is tough for some people getting home, getting through the traffic and all that. We've been kind of dragging our feet the last couple here, just letting everybody get some food right away and kind of getting rolling on the conversation closer to 6:30, 6:20, somewhere in there. So don't panic if you're like, man, I'll never make it by 6. Don't panic. We really don't crank it up on time. I know the traffic situation. Obviously, we live in Florida. Traffic is part of what we do.
Yeah.
So just come see us. Just come hang out with us. Bring the kids if you want. We always have goodies for the kids. So just come on out and hang out with us. It's going to be a good one. And the importance of voting yes on 2, I can't stress it enough. This is huge. The right to hunt and fish is all it is. It's a simple check yes on 2, and we are going to be in good shape forever. At least it will protect your right to always hunt and fish in the state of Florida. That's all it does. All the nonsense, all the social media gumbo, all the noise they're trying to create around this thing. It's kind of the new political thing, is create a bunch of noise around everything so nobody knows the truth. The world we live in where everything's a lie. This one's real simple, and that's why we're bringing Travis in. That's why I wanted to bring Dylan in. This one is real simple. It's cut and dry. There's no political add-ons. There's no nonsense. Vote yes on 2. It's just protecting the right to hunt and fish. Doesn't change any property laws. Doesn't change, the net ban. Nothing is going to change. All this is going to do is secure your right, your children's right. Maybe you don't even hunt and fish. Mm-hmm. Maybe it's just your neighbor's kids. Like, they're on the water all the time. They're on the dock behind the house. They just spend all their time on the water. It's going to protect their right to fish. That's all it does. So,
yeah, super important.
Yeah, really, really a big one. November 5th is going to be rather large, for sure, in many ways.
And Joe asked on the stream here if you had bumper stickers. We do. Stop by Hubbard's Marina and get you some bumper stickers. I'll give some to you in your truck. So maybe catch Mike and get some from him too.
That would be awesome. I'll take it. Yes on 2, baby. All good stuff. Again, phone lines are open here. We are live on the Real Animals Facebook page and the Hubbard's Facebook page as well, so you can drop your questions there. And we'll take your calls. We'd love to talk to you. 1-800-969-9352. Besides that, you can tell John Mamola how great he is. We'll be back 970 WFLA.
From the local Lexus dealers, WFLA News Desk. This is News Radio WFLA, serving Tampa Bay with news, traffic, and weather. Top and bottom of every hour, streaming live on the free iHeartRadio app at WFLAnews.com.
I downloaded that app. I think I told you about that new app that sets up like the program for lifting for you. So it's like a whole body 6-day split. So that's been interesting. But I really like the app, and I started listening to the guy who made the app, his podcast. Really cool dude. Like his style. So I downloaded. There's also like a diet coaching thing. So I downloaded that and started looking at it and started playing with it a little bit. Dude, like I've always just like prioritized protein, try to get like a gram of protein for every pound of lean body mass. So like shoot for like 250 grams of protein, and then I try to limit carbs, but not go low carb or anything like that. But yeah, like 250 grams of protein, 250 grams of carbs, try to keep it under like 3,000 calories, and it works. I've been losing weight. But dude, this app, it's suggesting like 500 grams of carbs, through the day. And so like it wants you to eat more carbs, especially like pre-workout. So yesterday for lunch, I'm like, shoot, I guess I got to eat like rice or something. So I had chicken and rice for lunch. And I had to have a lot of rice to try to get the carbs that it wanted me to have. That rice hit my stomach and just blew up. And I'm like, oh, I was dragging. I had a good workout, though.
What's weird about some of that stuff, and I learned some of this from Rodney Burton, is, and I can't, like Rodney was texting me while I was in Louisiana, and my diet and my cardio are my priorities moving forward.
Yeah.
So, you know, I was like, yeah, I'm thinking about tweaking the diet. And I know I can't do Rodney's thing because, dude, it's so strict.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just, it's not sustainable. You know, and it's great if you could do it. If that's your lifestyle, that's great. I mean, Rodney's, you know, a beast, but I'm like, I just can't. You know, I'm fishing Ian Harrison on Wednesday, a big bodybuilding buddy. So I'll pick his brain a little bit more. I'm trying to get back on my creatine, trying to ramp up my cardio. So we'll see. I was absolutely ashamed of myself yesterday. I went yesterday, told Beth. She wasn't sure if she was going to go. So I'm like, listen, I'm going to go do my cardio, and then I'll call you. And if we're going at 4:30 when you get off, I'll just come get you, and then I'll go back.
Yeah.
If not, I'm just going to, you know, I'll do my cardio and then just race through it, which, by the way, is the wrong way to do it.
Yeah, I was just about to
Rule
say.
number one is,
Yeah,
it wrecks my lift. Well, you shouldn't do your cardio first. You can always do it last.
Mm-hmm.
But anyhow, I did it that way. Bro, I called Beth. I'm like, I'm absolutely ashamed of myself. Like, how my cardio was just terrible. It was terrible.
You haven't been doing cardio?
Not enough, apparently.
Yeah.
And of course, it was a long week.
Yeah.
That's a longer week than what you know, you think, well, you're just sitting for 12 hours, but you're sitting for 12
it takes a
hours.
toll, yeah.
It does. And I was tired, so that probably didn't help either.
Yeah.
And then, of course, I was like, I did abs after I got done with my cardio. Then I did chest and buys.
Nice.
I'm like, I was torched.
Yeah. A funny story about that. I worked out legs Thursday morning, and then ate breakfast, hopped in the car, drove for 9 hours, and by the time I got back, I was like hobbling, and then woke up yesterday morning and ran 3 miles. So leg day, sat in the car 9 hours, went to sleep, woke up, ran 3 miles. So yesterday morning and pretty much all day yesterday, I was like limping. It was terrible.
That's a bad one.
It was terrible.
Yeah, that's a bad one. That's why I didn't play softball in Vero, you know, the weekend before. And I'm sure the fellas, like I told, they were like, why are you not coming? I'm like, I got to go to Louisiana. I didn't tell them I didn't have to leave till Monday. Which, it's really tough to get set up for that trip.
Yeah.
And be in Vero all day. You know, not get home until 6 o'clock at night. It's almost impossible. But what in my brain was, I can't play softball all weekend and then get in a car for 12 hours. I won't be able to get out of the car.
Yeah.
I'll be like, okay, my legs are like that. I mean,
that's how it was. I was like, man, does this truck have to be this tall?
I've got a little sciatic issue that I'm almost always battling here for the last year or so anyway. And, you know, it gets tough driving. Tough driving.
That dang hotel that I stayed at for the council meeting was all hardwood and tile, so you couldn't even stretch. Luckily, the gym was badass. I told you about it.
I don't take a mat with me. I have a mat that I take with me.
It's good, yeah. I didn't. I never would have guessed that the hotel wouldn't have a carpet.
I get down on the tile anyway. If I don't stretch, I'm just absolutely hosed.
Well, the gym, I stretch in the gym. But normally I'm used to stretching in the morning and stretching at night and stretching at the gym, you know? But
that's what I need to do. Is I've been like getting one good stretch in a day. I need to get back to like 2 and 3 stretches.
It makes you feel so much better.
Yeah. My goal is cardio every day of the week. Every day.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. No days off.
Amen to that.
I think so. The stream is awake. Well, there's quite a few people watching on Facebook and YouTube and all that good stuff.
That's good.
So some people are awake.
Some people are awake. Maybe they're just not out of bed. They can do that while they're still in bed.
Mike Mahoney says we sound like 2 schoolgirls. So some people are awake.
How would he know? He can't be within 300 yards of a school. How would he doesn't have a clue.
Not touching that one.
Yeah. He can't even argue with it because he knows it's true.
He is definitely a bad influence.
What is that guy now? Putting a shout out to our good friends at Relentless Knives, the world's first self-sharpening knife. That's right. It sharpens as it cuts. Unbelievable. Ultra hard carbide, never rust titanium blade, true grit glass, reinforced ABS handle. The knives are perfectly balanced. Dylan and his guys have been using them for a long time now. You've seen them all over social media because they are taking the filleting world by storm. Go to relentlessknivesusa.com. Veteran-owned company, great people, family business. George's dad invented the whole concept here. This technology is really, for lack of a better term, cutting edge. You like how I did that?
Yeah, that was cute.
Smooth.
Great pun.
Quality radio stuff right there.
That's why you're the best. Couldn't say that with a straight face.
Bobo was joining because he's laughing too. Go ahead, John. I see you.
Cutting edge knife technology.
I thought for sure John Momoa was going to drop some knowledge on us right there. Bad radio, fellas.
It's like, this is not how you do this.
Right, yeah, you're terminated. It's good stuff for sure. But anyway, check them out, relentlessknivesusa.com. Oh, man, we got a call. Wow, somebody's awake. Now, if I can find my cursor, there it is. Let's check out our good friend, Captain Gene Hammond. Gino, what's up, dog? One of our very high-end captain veteran guys. What's going on, buddy?
High-end. There's a new title.
Yeah, high-end. Isn't that what everybody thinks? They say Captain Gene Hammond. They think high-end. Absolutely.
I guess so. I don't know. Maybe more people should.
I think Lines of Liberty when I hear Captain
There you
Hammond.
go.
Yeah, there you go.
I'm changing it up this weekend a little bit, fellas. I'm 5,000 feet up in the Smoky Mountains looking into Tennessee right now.
Whoa.
Pretty cool.
Okay, well, don't get offended, but I'm hanging up on you now. Yeah, I'm hanging up on you now.
No one cares. Do you have a sweatshirt on too?
Yeah, right.
I do. It's like 58 degrees here, and I'm wearing socks with my
drop his
flip-flop.
call.
Tune back in at 7 o'clock when we name this week's Jackwagon of the Week.
Oh, it's pretty cool up here, fellas. We're up here.
If you say deer hunting, Mike's gonna freak out.
That's right. The next thing you hear will be a dial tone.
I'm up here supporting the Special Operations Warrior Foundation annual golf tournament.
Nice.
They help. Yeah, they raise money to help fallen families of kids of fallen special ops guys go to college.
That's very cool.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Nice.
Yeah. So yesterday, when I'm shanking balls into the woods, I did have a nice little 6-point buck watching me do that.
Nice.
I think he was laughing.
It might have been
laughing along with everybody else.
He's thinking to himself, I watch a lot of golf, and that's not what it looks like.
I'm safe from that shooter.
That's right, yeah.
Oh, man. I'm just no good at it. But we're up here to support our fellow service members and their families, and I'm doing what I do, you know. It's
yes,
a lot
sir.
of fun.
Well, good for you, brother. You do amazing stuff. When I did the Open, I don't know if you heard it or not, but I just finished reading The Operator by Robert O'Neill. Have you read it?
He didn't read it. He listened to it though.
I did listen to it. Yes. Yeah, it's a really good book. So, I
heard the thing about the audiobooks.
Yes,
pretty good. It's not bad when you're driving. It's hard to read a book when you're driving.
Yeah, it would be hard. Yes.
It's not recommended.
Yeah, I don't recommend it. Pulling your boat down the interstate while reading.
I tell you what, real quick, I am organized. I'm doing what I always wanted to do with Lines of Liberty, and we're bringing in 3 or 4 other nonprofits: Vet Catch, Operation Home Shores, Rack Fishing Foundation, and Heroes on the Water Tampa Bay. We are organizing a Tampa Bay-wide Take a Veteran Fishing on Veterans Day weekend this year, November 10th.
Nice.
We're gonna go out at several locations from Hudson all the way to the South Shore or South Tampa Bay. We got captains scattered all over the place to organize this, and then the following day, Monday, we're gonna get together on fellowship at the OCC Roadhouse and do some raffles, bring some vendors in, and just loving our veterans like we always do. We are looking for more volunteer captains, and if you want to volunteer to help, or you're a veteran that wants to fish in this event, go to linesofliberty.org and look up the November fishing event. It's going to be a good time, and just give a little love back to our veterans. We are looking for a captain to help organize somewhere on the South Shore, maybe Cockroach Bay or something like that.
Gotcha.
Give us a call.
All right.
Awesome, man.
Call me when you get some downtime. I know some guys over there. We can figure that out. Maybe we can run them out of Fort DeSoto too. I got some guys down there too. Maybe we can run some out of Fort DeSoto. So, give me a buzz. We'll help you out, brother. I also need to get your logo and stuff. I want it up on the website and let everybody know all the good stuff you're doing, man. Awesome. near and dear to my heart, the veterans. It's an incredible tragedy, the lack of things we do for our veterans in this country, especially after the last 20 years or so of complete nonsense they've dealt with all over the world in some of the biggest hellholes on the planet.
Yeah.
These guys have given their heart and soul to the flag, and then come back here and get treated poorly is ridiculous. So I'm all in, brother. Just call me. I'll help you get some bodies up, bro.
Yeah,
I got some guys.
Shoot me a text as well, because we can get you connected with that offshore list as well. And we have a boat available that day as well. So give me a shout.
That is perfect. Yeah, I did want to talk to you about that veteran, but we have 75 veterans already signed up and about 17 volunteers and captains. We need more help.
Yeah, no worries. We'll get the word out. I'll get the word out in my group for sure, and we'll get some boys down there on the South Shore to run them. So
that'll be
it's
awesome.
Not a problem. We'll figure it out. Just call me. We'll help you, brother. Keep up the good work, Gino. You're a great human, my friend, and a great veteran doing great things, giving back. We appreciate you.
Well, we appreciate your support. Thanks, Captains.
Always, brother. Enjoy your trip up there, you jackwagon.
Yeah, I'll shoot you some picture of that 6-point if I do.
There you go. That'd be great. See you, buddy. All right, partner. Talk soon. Good stuff, man. Big old heart on that dude, man. Just it's great to see people giving back to the veterans. I don't know that we understand the impact that, a lot of this stuff in the Middle East has had on a lot of these guys, man. It's crazy. And again, yes, I just read that book, so it's like right in the forefront of my brain. But when you read some of that stuff, dude, the stuff those boys had to go through, good God,
crazy.
Man. Yeah, it makes me hang my head a little being a veteran.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, I've found myself over the last several years being like at church, on Veterans Day weekend, and, the pastor asking all the veterans to stand up, and I'm just sitting there clapping as all these veterans stand up. My wife's got to actually nudge me and be like, hey, stand up, dummy. I'm like, oh, yeah. I mean, but it's different. When I was in, nothing was going on.
Yeah.
I mean, I literally played basketball on the base team in Germany, and we traveled all the time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, yes, we worked on jets, and yes, we were ready to go if we needed, but there was nothing going on.
Mm-hmm.
You're talking about guys going door to door.
Yeah,
looking for people that are killing America. It's unbelievable, bro.
Yeah,
it's unbelievable. So, just crazy stuff. Let's go to the phones here. Changing gears. Let's check in with Alan in St. Pete. Alan, how are you this morning?
Hey, I'm doing good, guys. How are y'all?
We're good, man. What's the word there, pal? Everything good? You safe? Sound? Everybody's good? The family?
Oh yeah, living a dream. Everybody's plugging along.
Good.
Doing. I really like to. Love it when you guys do stuff for the veterans, and being a veteran myself. But a little crisp in the air. I felt like it was almost a little chilly.
Really? I know. Yeah, I felt the same way this morning when I walked out. I was like, oh,
yeah,
nice.
Just a little something different.
When it's not 98 degrees, it feels chilly.
Yeah,
I know. It's a good place to be.
Football season.
My years in Wisconsin have spoiled me. I do miss the weather telling you when it's time to get your hunting gear ready and check your trail cams and plant.
You can use a calendar
plot.
for that, guys. You don't need the weather to tell you.
No, you know what though? I'm horrible about signing up for like gator hunt permits and turkey hunt permits. I always forget the dates, and I'm stuck on public land like a schmuck and nothing but my Facebook feed while I'm hunting. But I realize I'm doing this all wrong. The place to hunt is on golf courses.
Yeah, absolutely, for sure.
I played I played Wednesday at West Chase and saw the biggest rack on a Florida deer I've ever seen. This thing was a shooter anywhere in the world.
Nice.
4 or 5 inches outside the ears.
Wow.
Tall as can be. I think he was a 10. I was looking at him through my rangefinder. He was 128.6 yards away. But, yeah, big 12. And with a 6 that I would have shot anywhere as well. The 6 was super high and wide. And I was like, these things, what are they? I mean, I know they're eating hostas and bird feed, but somebody's throwing some minerals.
I was going to say, you think they'd be offended if we threw down a bag of corn and set up a tree stand somewhere?
Oh, they're eating good. And I know the state says that we're on decline for turkeys, but every time I play golf, I swear to God, turkeys are just attacking me.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I'm gonna start packing a little sawed-off 410 in my golf bag or something.
There you go.
A 22 short with a silencer.
Right
in the golf bag. They won't know.
I'm trying to figure out. They're making these crossbows smaller and smaller all the time. Can I fit it in my golf bag?
Pinellas County's finest carrying heat. I love it.
Yeah, haven't done much fishing. I did a little surf fishing last week, that's what I grew up doing. That, growing up in Jacksonville, I did a lot of surf fishing. We were poor. We weren't even poor. We were po. We couldn't afford the O and the R. Right. But surf fishing is kind of my forte, and I got a chance to do a little bit of it. I went down to Anna Maria Island for a little one-day getaway with the wife, and I haven't been skunked in a long time. I couldn't even catch a catfish. I don't know if it's something in the water.
Did you see any of the snook down there? Were the snook on the beach?
Snook on the beach. Saw them every morning early.
Okay.
Yeah, couldn't get them to bite. Bait everywhere, and that might be part of the problem. And it was, coming up on full moon. But when I don't go to the beach without at least one rod. So.
Sure. Yeah, I get it.
Nothing. It's not a bad day sitting there in a lawn chair watching a rod tip not move, but
it could be worse.
Bad day of fishing's better than a good day at work.
Yeah, that's what they tell me.
Unless your job is fishing.
100%. I hear that.
But I was throwing everything. I was throwing everything from live shrimp to greenies to. I even threw a couple little whiting out there. It's like, come on, there's got to be a jack or a catfish or something. I didn't get a bite in 2 days.
The good Lord and Mother Nature were telling you to just chill, relax, take the day off. Take the day off.
Exactly.
Spend time with your bride.
Well, yeah, there's that.
Yeah. Plus, you got to see big deer, so they were like, "You're good for a while."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was. I mean, the group behind us was like, "What are these guys looking for?" Because we're both got our rangefinders out, and we're looking across this pond at these deer.
I love it.
And they're like, finally, we just let them. Hey, come on, play through.
I hate golf.
We're watching deer.
I hate
Leave us
golf,
alone.
but you're making it sound more interesting now. I might see deer while I do it.
I was telling somebody the other day, I think it was Travis. It's like, I want to get into duck hunting. I want to get into fly fishing. But my wife says, you've got too many hobbies you suck at now. You don't have enough time to do everything that you're already dabbling in.
And that's love.
That is love.
They always keep us grounded.
That's right. Total
My wife does the same thing.
Well, she always brags about how she outfishes me. I says, yeah, it's easy to outfish me when I'm running the boat, I'm running a trolling motor, I'm tying your hooks on.
Alan, that's where you're running into trouble. When they tell you they can outfish you, just say yes, dear.
Yes.
And move on. It's the best way to do it.
I can't really argue because she's right.
That's what I'm saying. It doesn't do me any good either.
And it keeps them coming back, too.
Yeah. I'm so bright I put Beth on the TV show with me, so there's proof.
Yes.
That's what makes it even worse.
And every time she outfishes
Every time she kicks my butt. Yeah.
It's the best part about the Costa Rica
65-pound rooster last time. Yeah, it was great. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Her laughing at me the whole time.
She caught Kubera snapper for years. Could never get one.
I did have a great trip on the Kuberas last time.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Finally.
All right, Alan, I got to let you go, brother. Have a great week. We appreciate you. Good job.
Have a great one. Thank you.
All right, partner. Always good to chat with you, brother. Good stuff. Phone lines are open. Again, 1-800-969-9352. The Bartow Ford Real Animals Radio Show. We'll be back.
It's hot, so last last thing you want is your home's AC to quit on you. At 1 Hour Heating and Air Conditioning, our team of comfort specialists take the frustration out of the equation.
Yeah. Innovative sent us changes, but the changes they sent us didn't include the phone number or website. So I was like, well, I don't think you want us to do that. So I have to rewrite it again.
Okay. I'll just go with what I got.
Yeah, I would for now.
Independently owned and operated, licensed in their respective state or county.
Batteries are lighter, longer lasting, and more powerful than ever.
My son's birthday today.
What?
Mm-hmm.
Well, we ought to give him a shout out.
Yeah.
How do you?
It's actually tomorrow, I think.
I can't get this. I can't get the Why can I not get the comments to show up? I knew you were gonna laugh at me, but I'm irritated that I can't get it to come up.
I got you, dog.
What's it doing? Usually you just swipe and it comes up.
Yeah, it's like what you should be able to do.
This summer, enjoy less tan lines and more dashed white lines. Less theme park lines and more.
It only says 4 comments too.
Less behind the desk and more behind the wheel. Find the one for you this summer at the Lexus Golden Opportunity.
I'm glad you didn't just come over here and fucking do it. Because I've been pushing for 2 weeks, going, what is going on with my comments? All of a sudden it disappeared.
Experience amazing at your Lexus dealer.
Having trouble finding a plumber or an electrician you can trust? A company that is clean, honest, trustworthy, reasonably priced, and shows up on time? Captain Mike Anderson here for Titan Plumbing and Electric. My friend Joe Gennaro is the owner, and I've known him and his family for over 15 years.
Hey, Mike.
Yes. On our home, he was the first. Yes, sir.
I had a guy call in saying, asking if you guys would bring up DeSantis and his latest proposal about building golf courses and pickleball courts, I guess, in some state parkland in the Panhandle.
Yeah, it's on the agenda, but yeah, we're all over it. Thank you. This should be interesting.
So you just hit the comments, I guess.
Isn't it weird?
Facebook updates stuff all the time. It's constantly, every week it's changing.
It was so nice to be able to just swipe it.
So you have to just hit the comment thing.
Well, then it blocks the whole.
You don't want to actually watch us.
No, that's true. Well, we are good looking son of a bitches. So you gotta hit the comment thing.
Yeah.
And our Yamaha and Mercury certified warranty center with over 1 million parts in stock to keep you on the water. They have in-house financing and truly make buying a boat an enjoyable experience. Whether you're a first-time buyer or seasoned skipper, let my friends at Pro Marine Performance Center handle all your boating needs. Big O in Miami.
With What's Up Tampa Bay.
Sound like 2 school
Don't miss the hilarious stand-up comedian and actor Rob Schneider coming to the Duke Energy Center for the Arts, Mahaffey Theater, on October 18th. Get tickets now at Ticketmaster.com. Get ready to laugh with Rob Schneider, October 18th, live at the Duke Energy Center for the Arts, Mahaffey Theater.
Stay on top of everything going on at WFLA News.
Yard signs would be a good idea. That vote yes on too.
Yeah. Beyond legal and ethical limits.
I would put those in my yard for sure.
Host Ben Bolin, Matt Frederick, and Noel Brown introduce you to the world of stuff they don't
Katrina was 2005. Huh?
Yeah, it was.
History is riddled with unexplained events.
Our good friend Brian Pugh, and he is making some really good dates.
Okay, we have a time to meet coming up soon.
Service all brands. They do residential and commercial repairs, maintenance, and full replacement. They send out technicians, not salespeople. They're not trying to sell you stuff. They're trying to fix your AC or heating problems and have you as a partner for life. Give them a call today at 813-657-8818 or look them up online at BrandonAC.net. Also putting a shout out to Innovative Pools and Spas. Now for over 35 years, our friends Stacy and Tommy at Innovative Pools and Spas have been the go-to pool builders in Tampa Bay. Over 10,000 pools to their name. Second-generation family business built on quality and trust. They use extra rebar, more concrete, cutting-edge equipment, and make sure your pool is built to last. They design pools to fit your family's lifestyle, handle every project with integrity, start to finish. They've got a great end of summer discount going on now. Take $5,000 off. $5,000 off. That's crazy. Yeah. Call them today at 727-405-2994 or visit innovativepoolsandspa.net for a free estimate. Good stuff. Good people. Fishy people. Fishy people. Now we got people awake. Now everybody wants to talk.
It's almost like it's 7 o'clock.
We had a caller call in. John Momola was telling us we are going to try to chat about the DeSantis craziness going on with the...
Yeah, we've got city scandals, we've got state scandals, we've got federal scandals,
yes,
all to discuss today.
We got
state parks. Yeah, it's crazy.
I've made an oath to stay calm today. We'll see how it works.
He's trying, but it's not going well.
Let's
just don't ask him how to download an audiobook.
I don't have to. My wife is really good at it. It's good. I'm good. Let's check in here real quick, try to get a call in before the top of the hour. Check in with our good friend in Crystal River, William. William, how are you?
Captain's doing well. Football season's here.
I'm
concerned about this FDEP proposed changes to state parks.
Yeah.
I don't have anything pickleball players, but what if they take up all the parking spots for other people who want to enjoy the fishing or whatever? Just wanted to get your opinion upon what they might be doing. Now, there's a public comment meeting on Tuesday the 27th at 3 p.m. to 4 p.m.
There is not. They canceled those meetings or postponed them, I heard. But most likely, in my opinion, William, this whole thing is going to get shut down. So
much outrage.
The Speaker of the House, Pasadomo, spoke out against it. The COO of Florida, Jimmy Petronis, spoke out against it. You had the agricultural commissioner speak out against it. I forget his name. Simpson, Wilton Simpson speak out against it as well. So basically, all the big players in Governor DeSantis' cabinet spoke out against this. This was something Governor DeSantis and his team put out. And in my opinion, it was a little bit of a dog and pony show to kind of distract people from what happened on the primary day. And on primary day, Governor DeSantis went out there into the state and got involved in all these local races. And in every local race he got involved and endorsed someone, almost unanimously, they all got defeated and outvoted. And so his endorsements carried no weight. If anything, they hurt people. Right. And so instead of that being the news, the headline the next day, I think they leaked this state park thing to just distract us from the fact that Governor DeSantis' political clout in the state of Florida is gone.
I think that's the whole new scheme.
Because there's no way
the federal government.
There's no way this would ever float. The outrage is. I mean, even right before this show, I was commenting to John Momola. The show before us was talking about it, and it's just like everybody's talking about how outrageous this is. Yeah. There's no way this is going to happen. To me, it's a big distraction. So it's not. It's already postponed. So I think there's not much to worry about on that. Thank you.
Well, way to be paying attention, William. We appreciate you, brother. Always good to hear your voice, my friend. One of our longest held callers and listeners. We appreciate you.
And we are working on it behind the scenes. For sure.
The great William Keene right there. Good stuff. We've got Captain Jim Fogle for our safe boating tip. Donald and Lutz. Hopefully we'll hear from you as well. 1-800-969-9352. Light them up. We'll be back.
Radio stuff right there.
Unfortunately, radio cuts you off, right? We had to go to break, but we are working on it behind the scenes. And the Florida Guides Association Board had a huge part in those comments made by the Florida cabinet leadership. So the reason I'm so confident that nothing's going to happen and nothing's really going to move forward from this is because of those behind the scenes conversations. So it's not like I'm totally ignoring it or dismissing it. It's a huge issue, super frustrating, outrageous. They even began to look at that. Yeah, but I think that's the idea, right? Is it's so outrageous and so outlandish, it got everybody worked up that they totally just forgot about this issue over here. And I think that's why, but regardless of why, it's outrageous and we're fighting against it, and there's no way it's going to move forward just because of the outrage. Everybody agrees. The NGOs and the environmentalists and the fishermen and the hunters, we're all working together to make sure that doesn't happen. So
which doesn't happen very often, where everybody's on the same page.
Beyond disturbing and disappointing that not one but two adults would take advantage of a young child and put him in
it's gonna happen.
a traumatic and inappropriate situation.
Sheriff's Office spokesperson Jessica Lang says deputies arrested 39-year-old.
The whole pickleball thing is one thing. Like a pickleball court's small, right? Like if they were proposing building a
almost the size of a tennis court.
Yeah, I know, but these parks that you're talking about are like 200,000+ acres. You know, like the Dickinson Park, I think is like 250 acres. Like it's a huge space. You want to build a couple tennis courts in a small parking lot? But if you want to build a golf course, that's like a lot of acreage. One golf course would be like 20% of that park. And then if you're building two golf courses, they said 2 18-hole golf courses and a 9-hole golf course. That's more than 50% of the land area of that park. That's a problem.
We got enough golf courses in Florida. The damn things are everywhere.
To the minute traffic and weather.
They're
outrageous.
Causing a roadblock at Madison Avenue at South Falls.
Even the golf course contractor that was a part of that discussion said, yeah, there's no way we want anything to do with this. So there's not going to move forward.
And in Pasco County, a crash at I-75 northbound between State Road 52 and County Road 41. Annie Mac News Radio, WFLA. A classic summer pattern is in place this weekend. That means we start out dry. Temperatures warm up quickly. We're headed for the mid-90s this afternoon. Very toasty out there. We'll see a mixture of sun and clouds, and then those rain chances will increase to about a 40% today. Scattered downpours will end up developing after about 2 and 3 o'clock, lasting through the evening, and they'll slowly meander toward the coast. As we head into our Sunday, very similar setup. Rain chances just a little higher at about a 60%. I'm Max Defender meteorologist Amanda Hawley.
It's Ryan.
And I'm Dana.
Join us Monday morning at 5 on The Ryan Gorman Show.
On News Radio WFLA.
Dropping out. I'm Paul Stevens, Fox News. Ending his White House bid, throwing his support behind former President Trump.
We watched a moment that in past elections would have been unthinkable. A Kennedy walking on stage and endorsing the Republican nominee for president. But that's exactly what happened. RFK Jr. was met by thunderous applause from the crowd. Former President Trump mentioned the fact that over the course of RFK Jr.'s campaign, he went after Trump, but the former president welcomed Kennedy's supporters into the fold. The moment of those two men on stage together was a significant one, and we'll have to wait and see the impact on the presidential race. But the former president also spent a lot of time going after Vice President Harris, getting the last word after the biggest speech of her political career.
And that's Officer Grady Trimble at a Trump rally in Glendale, Arizona. Vice President Harris, meantime, back in D.C., resuming her official.
I wish there was a place to go like learn some of the tactical stuff that the SEALs have.
There is. There's a lot of places. So you and I should go together. It'd be fun. Tim Kennedy, I think it's Tim Kennedy. It's called, I have it in my phone, and I actually looked at the trip. But there's a bunch of them that have like CQC courses, and this one is like outfield survival or something. I can look it up on Instagram. I follow them, but long story short, they hold these little things all over the state. Their biggest one is in Texas, like Austin, I think. Not Austin, somewhere in Texas, and then they do one in like Georgia somewhere. That's the closest one to us. But long story short, you go to these events and they teach you combatives, but they also do CQC, and you can bring your own rifles, or they can supply you with a rifle. And they gear you up. You can buy the gear as well, so like you can leave there with the vest and the helmets, or you could just go there and rent the gear. And they teach you all the CQC, how to clear rooms, how to go door to door, all the door entries. Yeah, they teach you all of that.
Really?
Yeah, yeah. And they have like 2 day, 4-day, and 6-day options. Yeah, there's quite a few of them.
30-day.
I know, right?
That would be awesome. Wow.
And also, there's I didn't know this, but Florida has a state guard. So you can, instead of a National Guard, you can sign up for the Florida State Guard, and then the state will give you that stuff. Right? Yeah. David Will is the mayor of I forget what small municipality, either Indian Shores, I think Indian Shores or Reddington Shores, but he's in the Florida State Guard, and he was telling me about it. He was like, "Yeah, I shot a 50 cal all weekend. So on the bow of a boat shooting a 50 cal." Sign up for a weekend? Sounds good to me. Where do I sign?
Yeah, send me that info when you get it.
Yeah.
I need that.
Mike Anderson and Captain Dylan Hubbard.
Welcome back. 7:06 here at the iHeart Media Empire, rolling into hour number 2. Again, listen, stormy, rainy season, hurricane season. You don't want to be worried about your roof. Nobody does it better than Affordable Roofing Systems. Hubbs, our main man here, Dylan Hubbard, and Captain Big Ben Marshall have both had their roofs done by David Torres and the good people at Affordable Roofing Systems. Both of them had an absolutely killer experience. It was awesome. When I tell you they are the best, they're a fishy family. I've had David on the boat several times with his daughters. Absolutely an incredible, incredible person. Give them a call today at 1-888-397-ROOF. You get a free estimate. Visit them online at affordableroofingflorida.com. Just truly, truly great people. Let's roll through some calls here. Let's get our safe boating tip of the week from our legendary Coast Guard Auxiliary Charter Captain, Jim Fogel. Jimmy, how are you, brother?
Hey, guys. Great. Good show.
Thanks, buddy.
I got a couple of things. One, I want to follow up on some of the. I just tuned in to hear the last part of earlier talk with the veterans and wounded warriors, and I'm excited to report that the Coast Guard Auxiliary and FWC are planning a safe boating class for wounded warriors toward the end of October. So that's going to be great. Yeah,
Very
we're
cool.
looking forward, exciting about that. Yeah.
Yeah, good stuff.
Other thing I want to talk about is most of you probably heard about this super yacht, the Bayesian, sinking last Monday. If you haven't, let me tell you a quick story here.
Coordinates, or it didn't happen.
$40 million, 184-foot yacht, super yacht, at about 5 a.m. off the coast of Rome.
Oh.
A storm alleged to be up to 100 miles an hour.
Ooh.
Because they were having a slight little water spout commenced to run through the area there. Now, bad weather had been forecast, so this wasn't, as I understand, totally out of the blue, but it did happen. This boat evidently rolled over. There were 10 crew and 12 passengers. 7 people died in this horrible event.
Wow.
This boat, now think about it. Visualize this. This is a 184-foot sailboat described by the engineer builder as quote-unquote unsinkable. It's anchored up.
So was the Titanic.
Exactly. Heard that before.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. It did not have its keel down. This thing had a retractable keel. The keel was up. Okay? Now, think about this.
Sounds
Boats
like
have
user
a
error.
have a center of buoyancy, and they have a center of gravity. And when those two get too close together, we got a problem.
Yeah.
Now, I think it was a 40-meter boat that was anchored not too far away or sitting up too far away, said that the mast broke. Okay, so you got a 200-foot mast that broke and fell sideways. Evidently, it didn't just fall off. It fell down. And that caused the boat to roll over. And it makes sense because there is the keel's up, so there's no weight holding it down. It's anchored to the base of the floor of the area there, which is probably roughly 150, 160 foot deep. And so it rolled over. There's all kinds of, they have found everybody that was on the boat. They had problems for a while finding people because some of them were trapped in cabins and things like that.
Brutal.
But the whole point of this is, and this boat went down in somewhere between 2 and 16 minutes. 2 and 16 minutes. We've talked about how fast boats go down before. But this monster super yacht went down in that little teeny bit of time.
Right.
So you can understand how they didn't get out of their cabins fast enough.
Yeah.
Brutal.
So the only point here is you have always got to be ready. I don't care what you're on or where you're on. You've got to be ready. This captain is probably SOL because he did not have any. Apparently, there weren't any previous preparations on what to do if there was a storm.
Right.
And the hatches weren't battered down like they should have been, and the people didn't have their life jackets and, weren't in a secure area preparing for something like that.
That's crazy, dude.
But it's just a horrible, horrible thing.
No, but it's a great example. It's a great example you're using right there. This is the stuff you have to think about. When you have rainy days, like a rainy weekend, you can't be on your boat, take a little time to put aside an hour, maybe an hour and a half, to walk through some of these possibilities in your head, some scenarios. Look at your safety equipment. Make sure everything's ready to go. If you're an offshore guy, make sure your emergency raft and all of your flares and all that stuff is in working order and ready to go. You don't want to make a mistake out there. You just don't have time.
Yeah.
You don't have time for it. When it goes south, it goes south quick. That's a great, great safe boating tip. Fantastic.
All right, guys. Sorry it was a downer, but hopefully it'll prevent somebody from having a similar problem.
Hey,
so you guys take care. Keep up the good work for the Coast Guard Auxiliary and St. Pete. Jim Fogel, be safe out there.
Thanks, Jimmy. Nobody does it better. Good job.
Yeah, I didn't hear about that, but for a second there, I thought he was talking about a 180-foot boat that's sunk locally.
Yeah.
That would be
bingo.
Huge.
Yeah. Bingo.
That's a big reef.
New reef. Yeah, new reef. Safe boating tip brought to you by Innovative Pools and Spa. Again, over 10,000 pools to their name. Great, great people over there. Give them a call today at 727-405-2994. InnovativePoolsAndSpa.net. You can get a free estimate. They've got a $5,000 summer discount going on right now. You can't beat that. Pools have definitely gone up in price, but if you can take $5,000 off the top, I would give them a call.
Every little bit counts.
Yeah, and I would highly recommend a pool.
Yeah,
I love our pool.
Nothing wrong with that.
I love our pool. It's a beautiful thing. Let's check in with Donald in Lutz here. Donald, how are you?
Oh man, I was fuming, but everybody's talking about this now, which is good, and I'm glad that the meetings were postponed because at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, to 4 o'clock, it's like, come on, we all, most of us have to work.
Yeah. Well, it was 3 o'clock in the afternoon to 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and they were all at the same time. So all the meetings for all those different state parks were all scheduled at the same time. So that way, if you're like a statewide advocacy group, you couldn't be at all the meetings. So there was definitely a tactful plan to have those meetings. But they've been postponed. That was announced yesterday, late afternoon. This whole plan, in my opinion, there's no way it moves forward just because of the outrage from the public, but also the outrage from Governor DeSantis's own Florida cabinet, with everybody, the Speaker of the House, the COO, the Department of Ag Commission, everybody's speaking out against.
I think it's
putting
fun.
anything in these
super
parks.
Funny to me because my wife was like all over this. Like she just kept shooting me these social media clips on this deal. And she was like, you got to talk about this on the show. You got to talk about this on the show. So when I reached out to Dylan, because I'm like, hey, bro, knowing as you guys do by now that Dylan's got his finger on the heartbeat of the stuff going on in Florida, I'm like, dude, what are we making of this? Like, where are we going with this? It's so outrageous and so completely, like, I don't know if you can say asinine on the radio. I guess John will beat me out if we can. Oh, we can. Okay, I got a thumbs up.
That's a word.
It's so stupid, bro.
Mm-hmm.
And that when you said what you did, like, this is like a big, like, it's flim-flam.
Yeah.
Let's go to Mahoney's one. It's flim-flam.
Textbook.
Yeah, it's textbook flim-flam. The minute you said it, I went, man, that makes all kinds of sense. And how pathetic is it that we live in a world
where
this is the concept, though?
Yeah.
But think about this. So,
yeah,
this is what they're doing with this nonsense.
Mm-hmm.
Think about how much of this is going around
federally,
politics in general.
Mm-hmm.
Your local politics, we got the issue with the sand at Johns Pass.
Yeah.
How much of the flim flam are we dealing with that nonsense where you're getting phone calls or emails telling you, hey, we're just waiting on the Army Corps of Engineers, and then to find out they just now put in for the permitting?
Yeah, we've been waiting for almost 3 years. The state allocated $1.55 million to dredge that sand. And for almost 3 years, we've been told by the city of Madeira Beach, oh, we're just waiting for Army Corps. We're just waiting for Army Corps. They just need to sign the petition. We're waiting for Army Corps. They're going to sign it any day. It's going to start next month. Don't worry. They've been saying it's going to start next month for the last year. So come to find out, just in the last couple days, Army Corps just got the application in July of 24. People have literally died at that location because of that sand buildup since they got the money to fix it from the state. And the city has literally been sitting on that money, didn't even bother putting in their application.
You know they're not sitting on the money, right?
They're making money with that money.
They're making money, and they're using the money for other things. That's where the nonsense comes in. Just like Piney Point.
Yeah.
All that money showed up there that DeSantis had sent down there. All that money showed up, and then all of a sudden the county starts calling with new fees and all this nonsense going on.
And I guarantee they're going to hit me because we paid a lot of money to study that sand for them to tell us the sand was there and that it's a problem. We had to pay like $80,000 to do that study. And I guarantee the Army Corps is going to sign the petition but say, hey, you got to do another study because it's been 3 years since your study. So if they try to hit us with that, I'm going to be like, the city owes that because the city's been sitting on this and hasn't done the application.
Listen, I know it sounds archaic. I get it. I get it. There'll be people that roll their eyes like this is you can't think like that. We need to go back where people that are jackwagons just get punched in the face. We just need to go back there. Like, dude, to me, like, it's disgusting. Like, if I met the dude that's behind that, I would just be like, dude, I'm just going to punch you in the face because you just deserve it. Like, you deserve to get knocked out. Like, old school, punch in the face. I broke my hand, breaking your face. That's what needs to happen to some of these people.
Yeah.
Like, don't you think? The scumbag overflow is just at such a new level. It's shocking to me.
Yeah. Remember at the beginning of the show?
I'm calm. I'm still calm. I calm myself. I'm still calm.
All
John
right,
Malone was in there laughing.
we're just
at me too.
checking.
Stop laughing, John. I'm calm.
Because it seemed like you got a little uncalm.
No, I'm totally calm.
Okay.
You have to be calm in that moment. When
the state of Florida basically talked about building resorts and golf courses and pickleball courses in 8 state parks across the state. And essentially, it was met with complete outrage. And it turns out that most likely this was just a political move to distract us from the fact that DeSantis, all his endorsements across the state of Florida, unanimously lost their elections. So instead of that being the headline that anybody DeSantis endorsed lost, here's the headline.
You're right.
State parks.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
It's amazing how that happens, huh? Yeah.
So if this whole state parks thing just totally goes away and DeSantis is like, yeah, we turned that down. That was a bad idea. And he starts a fire. He puts the fire out. He's the savior.
He looks like a hero.
No one sees the other smoke show over here that, hey, everybody I endorsed lost.
Well, that's what we got to do. That's what we have to do.
Hashtag politics.
We have to call out the flim flam, Donald. That's what we're here for, buddy.
That's right. Yeah, I don't see the veins popping on your head, so you're okay,
calm.
Mike.
I'm calm. I saved it.
Mike Dixon said, Punching Jackwagons is a great title for your next novel.
It is, actually. The great Mike Dixon chiming in.
That's awesome.
I think it would solve a lot of our problems. I really do.
Big O said, I broke my hand breaking your face is a bumper sticker. So we have a whole line of stuff now. We got a novel, bumper stickers.
All for sale at realanimals.com.
And that's Mike staying calm, guys.
Just trying to help. Donald, great call, brother. Way to get us fired up, buddy. Good job. Good job. We got our legendary friend, the great Captain Scott Moore. We're going to talk to him on the other side. Hopefully we'll hear from you as well. 1-800-969-3295.
Keeping calm.
I was all proud of myself. I was pretty calm there because I felt it too. I felt it coming. Oh, this is getting bad. Slow your roll.
We've come so far.
Big O having sciatic problems on his drive to Miami. I get it, dog.
Streaming live
Talk about somebody who doesn't take a day off. He's got sciatic problems driving to Miami because he's riding that bike every day.
When it's hot, the last thing you want is your home's AC to quit on you. At 1 Hour Heating and Air Conditioning, our team of comfort specialists take the frustration out of the equation. From simple repairs to more complex fixes, we'll get you cool and comfortable quickly at FloridaOneHour.com. Schedule now at FloridaOneHour.com. And remember, we're always on. Operated, licensed in their respective state and county.
Having trouble finding a plumber or an electrician you can trust? A company that is clean, honest, trustworthy, reasonably priced, and shows up for all the news segment. That's what it is. It's all flim flam. And I've known him and his family for over 50 years. Government's been doing it for a while now. He was the first person I called because
it's crazy, man.
It is crazy. I saw a meme that this all goes back to Obama, but I don't.
Dude, you know what's crazy is I know a Secret Service agent who fishes with us who's on the president's detail. And you know what this dude told me? He said that since Obama's been in office, every president, there's only been 2, consults with Obama, and Obama's in the White House because he's a great statesman. And this guy told me with a straight face, he said the reason why Trump was such a bad president is because he didn't have Obama in the White House giving him advice. And he said that Biden was so great because he was listening to the great statesman, President Obama. And President Obama was in the White House a lot when Biden was around. And I'm like, this all makes perfect sense to me, man.
It's all coming together. What's clear?
Yeah.
I saw a meme that said that Obama passed a law. Again, I don't need to look it up. I've not fact checked it, so I don't know. But they passed a law because there used to be a law that you couldn't. The media, it was illegal for the media to do that.
To do what?
To drop lies and make up fantasy stories and all that to push different directions.
Mm-hmm.
According to this meme, that when that went down, it had a date and all that. And again, I don't know if it's true, but that he passed a bill that said they could do that. That is perfectly fine. But they're not under any strict, regulation, to be honest with the public.
I don't know about that.
I don't either.
But I was listening to
Sure
this.
Sounds like it's something that's been going on.
I was listening to this podcast and I read this book called The Tipping Point by Malcolm Gladwell. And The Tipping Point has this huge research project study in there. I forget what election it was, but it was like early election when TV was just a thing. And Walter Cronkite, like back in the day, like when there was only like 3 people on TV.
Right.
And long story short, during this election, they were totally unbiased at that time.
Right.
They presented both sides, but this one news guy would smile a little bit more when he talked about this one candidate. And he smiled a little bit more than when he talked about the other candidate. And the candidate he smiled about while he talked won. And they did this project that basically almost 80% of the time when he was saying anything about this one candidate, he smiled. And like only 30% or 40% of the time did he smile when he talked about this candidate. And that was enough to make this candidate win. And now if you look at the actual like the studies and the analytics of the news now, like something like 80% of the news is negative headlines, news, stories when it talks about Trump, and like 80% are positive. So it's like, how do you not consider that cheating or swaying?
I was at News Channel 8 for 10 years. I never met, I'm not saying there weren't any there, I never met a Republican in the building. Never. Not one. I'm not saying there weren't some there, because I didn't meet everybody. Yeah. But all my camera guys, all my producers, every single one of them was voted Democrats. Right, wrong, indifferent. Good people, great people, loved them. Awesome. Helped me learn what I do, but they were all Democrats.
Interesting.
I'm leaving.
You have to run the show yourself, moron. Let's go to the phones here real quick. We got a short segment before the bottom of the hour. We want to get this guy in here, see what he's got to say, what's going on in beautiful Anna Maria. Our good friend, Captain Scott Moore, one of the best in the business, joins us now. Scotty, how are you, brother?
All right, doing good. Water's cleaning up. Good show. What agency submitted this and actually brought this craziness out? DEP?
Yeah, DEP, I heard.
FDEP was
That's
the one
typical.
who did the presentation on it for sure.
And we
where'd
all
it come
voted. They're the largest agency in the state of Florida. Okay, and we voted them in. Oh, my gosh. And, you know, a few years back, a real quick story, just to prove a point, what we got going, Mike. I went to the Kingfish boat ramp. There wasn't a fish cleaning table. They had put the fish cleaning table up in the parking lot with 2 garbage cans, and you had to clean, with no water, clean the fish and put them in a garbage can. This was DEP's idea. It told the county that no fish can go in the water, okay? It has to be taken to the dump, all right? Is that typical of DEP? They're also the ones that told us that they were only going to give so much money for a rattlesnake.
Yeah.
Well, how much are the mangroves worth? Well, you can only build 2 houses here. This is the agency we have. The governor needs to go in there and straighten that out.
Clean house.
DEP's got some problems. They got some problems.
I pulled in at ICAST one time right next to a gal getting out of a DEP truck. And I've never seen anyone.
That poor woman.
I've never seen anyone run from me like that ever. Like she saw me pull in and was like, "Ah!" and just ran. Like I'm like, no one runs to ICAST that fast. No one.
They do some good things. Now, don't get me wrong. They are understaffed on a lot of stuff, different directions. But whoever brought that out, I mean, and all the money they spent, and promoting, doing all that. I mean, hopefully the money went back into the. What it needs to be. Water's cleaning up. We're getting some good tides around the passes. I don't know if that's happening up there, but here it is, and it's looking good.
Looks a lot better.
Good.
Yep.
We're catching some redfish. Everything got blown out of the canals and all that fresh water. So fishing's still good. Great time to fish right now.
I love it. Yeah, it's
good
a great
show.
time of year. Thank you.
Yeah, good show, and get out there and get fishing. There's plenty of fish out there.
Thank you, my friend. Great call as always. We appreciate you, brother.
You bet.
All right, partner. I love the fact that guy listens. Still one of the greatest moments ever in my radio career. I will never forget it. We were back in the old building. Billy and I were doing the show, just the 2 of us at the time, and I freaked out when I looked at the call screen and it said Captain Scott Moore. I'm looking at Billy mouthing at him. I'm like, Scott Moore. Like, Captain Scott Moore? That guy is calling up. Yeah, it's crazy. Awesome to have that guy's 2 cents in. Super knowledgeable, great conservation, great people. We got Captain Bobby Woodard on the other side. Again, hopefully we'll hear from you as well. 1-800-969-9352. Yeah, I forgot about that was a DEP deal.
Yeah. Well, FDEP is the one who had the presentation, the job of bringing it to the public, but that's not necessarily who proposed it, right?
Right.
It came out of the governor's office. Question is who proposed it to him. But I would imagine it's all going to come to light because someone's going to FOIA request it, I'm sure.
I'm sure. Textbook manipulation. Very true, Frank. Very true.
Someone said if the punch in the face doesn't work, you can always break out the pen.
There's nothing wrong with sticking a pen in someone's neck. There's nothing wrong with that. I totally agree with you. In my bug out bag, I got a whole pack of Bics.
And rubber bands so I could shoot the pens.
case we gotta stick one in somebody's neck. If the stab don't kill him, the ink will. It's all good.
Just a little painful death.
Right.
Ink in your carotid artery. Who needs a knife or a firearm? Just give Mike a bic.
What's been frustrating to me is the damn amount of new palm trees on 75. Have you been on 75?
Dude, yeah. Have I been on 75? We drove together to
it seems like there's even more to the south.
Yeah.
To the south.
Yeah.
Good
Once
God.
you get south of like basically Newport Richie, it's just let's put 1 million palm trees in the middle of the road. Sounds like a great waste of taxpayer dollars.
I don't get it, dude. I'm just like scratching my head. I mean, put some oaks in there. It makes, at least they're cheap. You know, I mean, middle of the road's not going to hurt the road any with the root system. I don't get it, dude. I don't. It is one of the biggest head scratchers ever.
Yeah. Like that one section of 75 that you're talking about, there's literally like probably 80 rows of trees and there's 6 in a row.
It's unbelievable.
It's just like, it looks like it's almost like a nursery.
Yeah.
Palm trees.
Yeah, it's crazy. It makes 0 sense. And 6 months from now, a year from now, they're all going to look like shit.
Mm-hmm.
Because no one's there taking care of them.
Yeah.
Which is irrelevant because it shouldn't be there anyway. Yeah. Stupidest thing I've ever seen in my life. If you want to put trees in there because we need trees and what they do for the environment, okay, I'll bite a little bit because we're developing so much property, taking away so many trees. All right, I'll bite. But why would you put in oak trees? They're cheap.
Yeah, you put in a tree that
They don't need it right. They don't need a bunch of maintenance. Just put in. You put in palm trees that need to be maintained and are expensive as shit to begin with.
Mm-hmm.
Who's the idiot that thought of that? Face punch. Face punch. Followed with an elbow smash. 100%. Like I immediately.
Yeah.
Hey, that was my idea. I wouldn't even question it. And I'd just put my hands behind my back and go arrest me. That dude deserved it. I'll stand right in front of the judge and go, that dude deserved to get punched in the face. And if you tell me I'm wrong, fine, but you're crazy.
Someone said palm trees will stop the cars from flying through to the other side. I think an oak tree would work better, though.
How about you put a freaking guardrail up and you never have to maintain it? It only goes in once. Come on, people. I got in an argument with a guy on social about the lights on the Skyway Bridge.
Yeah.
Like, dude, you're in the tourism business. You can't understand why we did this? You think bitches are coming here to go to a night trip to the Skyway to look at the bridge? They're coming here to look at the freaking beach, fool.
Mm-hmm.
You don't give 2 shits that the bridge is lit up, you jackwagons. Let's keep dumping poop in the water, but we'll light up the bridge. That'll make everybody feel better.
It's kind of like the whole state parks thing. It's like, oh, look at this fancy bridge. We're going to keep dumping shit over here.
Right, it is.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, let's put some poop in the water, but we'll make the bridge pretty. That's stupid. I'm sure that guy's no longer my friend because I lit him up pretty good, which is fine. We don't need to be friends.
It's always interesting. I wonder how many people block us on social media.
I'm sure some do.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
I know I've been blocked.
That's okay. I'm okay with that.
Yeah, it's all part of it.
Well, and I've said it before on the live, on air. It's okay that your opinion doesn't align with mine. It's okay. It doesn't mean I hate you. It doesn't mean make you bad people. It just means we have different opinions.
And means that Mike might punch you in the face.
It could happen. If you get stupid, if you get stupid, I'll stick a pen in your neck.
We can disagree and be friends, but if you cross that line,
pen to the neck.
You might get a pen in the neck. Remember the one time you were talking about dragging the politician behind the boat? I forget what that was.
I don't know, but he deserves it.
I was speechless. I didn't know what to say. I was like, did he really just say that? Yeah, he said it.
I'm working on my filter. I'm a work in progress. Total work in progress.
You'll get there one day.
56 years old.
Yeah, Gary Boylan was talking about being on the council, and I was like, so when are you going to MREP? And his good buddy that he grew up with, been friends with 40 years, is Ira Lax, who's a captain on the East Coast. who is the other program principal of MREP Southeast. So Ira is his good buddy. He's been talking to him about it. So I brought it up immediately to Gary. I was like, so when are you going to MREP? He's like, oh yeah, I got to do that. I'm planning to come up soon. And I wanted to do it like with Mike Dixon. I was like, hey Mike, we got to tell Anderson that he has to do it. So I'm gonna bring it up with Gary. I'm like, hey man, make it a part of his quantum deal. He has to go back to MREP.
They won't let me, bro. There's no way. There's no way, dude. Anderson. This one's. Why do I know that name? Yeah, threatened to throw the little guy out the window. Yeah.
Oh, they just broke it on the news. They just said on TV that the meetings were postponed. Yep. Told you. You heard it here first.
This is the Bartow Ford Real Animals Radio Show, presented by Hubbard's Marina. Now your captains, Mike Anderson and Dylan Hubbard.
We're talking about how there's a little cool in the air this morning. We know that fall is coming, but it's still August. Still got September to go yet. Still going to be hot. You don't want to have any problems with your AC, your heating, or your cooling, any of that stuff. So the name you need to know is Ace Heating and Cooling. For over 20 years, they've been handling heating and cooling in Hillsborough County. Chris Myers and his guys are the best in the business. They do maintenance, full replacements, residential, commercial. They do it all. Nobody does it better. Check them out today. Great friends of the show. We've had Chris in here as a guest. He's a big-time inshore and offshore fisherman. Super good people. 813-657-8818 or look them up online at brandonac.net. Again, super good people over there. We love Chris. Let's go to the phones here. Check in with our good friend Captain Bobby Woodard. What's going on, Bobby boy? What's new in your world, my friend?
Oh, not much, man. Same old. Driving down south to, keep working on the house. We're getting close, in the final, painting and trim and caulking and filling nail holes and all that kind of crap. So it takes forever because that's what people see when they, come to the house.
Mm-hmm. Final touches.
Oh, yeah.
I get it. At least you're getting there, brother. At least you're getting there.
Exactly. It's exciting to at least be to that stage. It's frustrating because it takes longer, but nice to be there.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah, so he rebuilt his home from getting destroyed in Hurricane Ian. He also just finished rebuilding his barn, and he's also accomplishing rebuilding his boat. He tore it down to the stringers and then rebuilt it.
I have a list in my phone,
mm-hmm.
and Bobby falls under the list that's headlined Overachievers.
Oh yeah,
he's that guy.
Yeah. No. It's out of necessity. It's not out of overachieving type personality. It's out of necessity.
He's so full of it.
Yeah, whatever. Dude.
Yeah,
I'm not buying that at all. Dude.
Yeah,
I'm not buying that at all. But good, you can sell
nice
that.
try.
Yeah, you can sell that to somebody else. No. You and we broke bread together, my friend. I know you better now.
There you go.
Can't fool me.
Yeah, nice try.
Well, just wanted to call in. Good show this morning. You guys, killing it as usual. But this whole parks thing is, just one of those other crazy, political situations that, I don't know. I'm at a loss for words for it. It's just so asinine, as you said earlier, Mike, to even consider that it possibly would even, happen. That.
Yeah, it's crazy. You know what's interesting? What's interesting too, and you'll get a kick out of this, and you probably know this because you're in the know as well, like Dylan. But Dylan and I were talking about it. That our good friends at Captains for Clean Water got involved in this little commentary, but did not want to get involved in our Yes on 2 commentary.
It's interesting.
Wasn't that interesting?
Well, yeah, I wasn't going to go there, but
I'll do it for you. I'll do it for you. I'm that guy.
Since we're there, yeah. That's interesting is not exactly the word I would use, but I guess since we're on air, then
radio safe.
Exactly.
Yeah, we got to clean it up a little bit.
Well,
but yeah, man, it's disappointing is what it is. Really not interesting. Disappointing.
It's disappointing because I've been such a big supporter of Captains for Clean Water for so many years, having them on the show. Chris and I just did a show. I had him in for a whole show here not long ago via the phone line. Yeah, I mean, and again,
this is what happens when I leave for 1 weekend.
Their cause is great, but I don't know. Like, I'm baffled at why you guys dive into the politics and then don't keep it clean. Don't make it make sense. Why you can push for something like this, which obviously there's reason to be outraged when this kind of nonsense comes out, but you can't put the same social media,
or even just a mention.
Yeah,
just
that's all
mention.
we were asking
Be like,
for.
hey, yes on 2 is awesome.
Yes on 2 is a good move. That's all you had to do. And we got all this lip about how they couldn't do it because of, this regulation and that regulation, but we're all over this. I mean, I don't get it.
The truly sad part is it's because of egos. Like egos are involved, personality conflicts are involved, and that's the true reason why they wouldn't get behind it. And it's just, you have to understand when you're trying to do something and trying to be a part of something that's bigger than yourself, and you're part of the greater gain for all.
Isn't that the
egos? Egos aren't involved at that point.
Isn't that the point, though? I mean, why do you get out of bed in the morning and call yourself a conservation group? Like, you're willing to make a living off of this. You left the guide business
good living.
and became this political advocate, and you're willing to put your name on all this stuff, but you're picking and choosing now?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
For a guy, especially for a group. Now, listen, I don't know Daniel all that well, but Chris Whitman and I go way back. Chris is a huge hunter. Huge. Used to do a hunting show.
Yeah.
Colorblind Media, who used to shoot real animals, used to shoot Chris's show. Some major hunting stuff they did. He couldn't get it financed, otherwise I guarantee you'd still be doing it. But you go through all this big movement to become this political advocacy group. And again, I've been a proponent. I wrote them a check. I'm a big believer in what they're doing. But some of this stuff we can touch and some of it we can't. You fall into that same political should get punched in the face nonsense that's going on across the board.
Yeah.
That's the problem. That's where that's where the line gets muddied up.
I think that's true of a lot of groups. Captains for Clean Water is the most notable right now, but a lot of groups in that conservation space they won't work with other groups because they can't be the ones to say, I did this. They can't put their names on it, and if they can't put their names on it, they won't get involved.
That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. 100%. It should be about the conservation. It should be about the message. Yeah. Stop with the egomaniac stuff, right? That's the part that bothers me. You get so wrapped up in making money and people know who I am and I think I'm somebody. No, dude, you're really just a small piece. You're just a speck. No matter how big you get, you're just a speck on this big, big planet.
And other groups, like
horrible. People
were asking us at the Florida Guides Association, what are you guys doing? What are we going to post? Who are we going to write a letter to? Who are we going to do a video on? And it's like, dude, we're working behind the scenes. It's much more effective.
Right.
The reason that certain things happened is because certain things happen behind the scenes, and it's stuff you can't even talk about, and that's effective.
Well, and it's about knowing how to play the game. I mean, for example, yes on 2, we need big social media. We need people spreading the word. It's grassroots. The more people know, the more people vote yes. Cool. But like you just said, Dylan, the behind the scenes stuff on this particular issue. Like the meeting that's, closed doors and has 4 people in the room and 2 of them are, representatives, from us, then, like, that's moving the needle. That's getting the stuff done, you know?
Yeah, I'm with you.
So,
walk softly and carry a big stick.
Amen, brother.
I think someone pretty famous said that.
Carry a pen.
Well, I carry something. It may not be a pen, but that's
goes a little faster.
That's for another show. Yeah, and I'm on. By the way, Dylan, I'm on board if there's any sort of training or trip plan to go do some of that QCB stuff.
Yeah,
we're in, dude.
Yeah,
I'm doing some of that. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that'd be cool. Yeah. I'm in.
Boys trip.
Always good. Yeah, always good to hear your voice, my brother. Well done, Bobby.
All right. Yes on 2, guys. Yes on 2.
Amen, brother. Thank you, sir. Hope to see you soon, pal.
All right, guys.
Bye, buddy.
Take care.
Good stuff. Well, this ought to be fun. This should be fun. It's not ready yet.
Oh, yeah?
Oh,
we got someone coming?
I got to, I'm getting the
He's giving you the nod.
I'm getting the pause. Oh, now we're ready. I almost went there early. John had me. He's like, I see you, squirrel.
Calm down there, big boy.
Well, I got a little excited because I'm anxious to hear from our good friend Richard on the South Shore with this show and all we got going on. Is he going to set us straight? Richard, how are you, my brother?
I'm about halfway through my stationary bike ride. I got a late start this morning.
Okay, I got you. Well, at least you're up and getting after it. That's a good thing, bro.
Yeah. Hey, Mike, your summary judgment and punishment plan has a flaw in it.
What's that?
Well, it put on your tombstone, he punched the wrong jackwagon.
Well, and that could very well happen. That's true, but just because you choose
it'd be worth it though.
Just because you choose to punch him doesn't mean you're not also armed. Remember that, Richard.
You know what? Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, I hear you, but
that's why we don't do such things. People start deciding how they want to deal with it.
I understand. Listen, I didn't say the plan didn't have flaws. Okay, I get it.
It was never a perfect plan, but it was a plan.
Yeah, it was just. I mean, it's my emotion getting the best of me, and the old school redneck.
He's staying calm, guys. He's staying calm.
Right. I think it's because I really want to shoot you in the kneecap, because then you limp around forever thinking about it. But that's way too far. You know, if you just punch them.
It's just me. I grew up in an environment when people started raising their voices and yelling. It didn't last long. Somebody got hit.
Right. I agree. Me too. That's how I grew up. I mean, I just don't. That's my confusion on the whole thing. Like when you know, it's people. It even bothers me with kids. You know, when I was coaching my daughter's team and stuff, when you yell at a kid and everyone's offended, everyone's hurt. I don't know about y'all, but I got yelled at a lot. I mean, and I seem to come out just fine. Like, yelling at people doesn't necessarily make you bad people. It doesn't mean that you don't love somebody, you don't care about them. It's just sometimes you get yelled at. I mean, it's the way it works.
I think the Bible says, "Spare the rod, hate the child," something like that. Something like that. I think it's biblical.
In today's world, you can't even yell at somebody without somebody getting offended. It's like, bro, just deal with it, bro.
Well, to each his own, you know.
Oh, for sure.
But the reason I called up is this captain, excuse me if I sound a little breathless because I'm about halfway through. But anyway, this Captains for Clean Water that are not supporting the item number 2.
Yep.
I'd like to know why they're not. Maybe you could have somebody on the show and have them explain.
Well, I'll tell you. I can tell you what. I can tell you what he told me. Because I cornered him. I shouldn't say cornered, because Chris and I are friends.
It was kind of cornered.
It wasn't cornered. Initially, I was trying to corner him, and I couldn't find him. So then I calmed down.
I was there.
Then I calmed down, and we found him
I had my
later.
phone out yelling, "World Star."
He actually told me that they're only allowed to do a certain amount of that stuff. There's only a certain percentage of that kind of stuff they're allowed to do, and this would take away from other stuff that they're planning on supporting. That's what he told me. And when I heard that, I'm like, okay, well, again, we all know I'm not all that bright. I don't know how that stuff works, so maybe that's true. That's fine. Then how come? But you can put energy into this nonsense? You can put energy into this nonsense in the parks, but you couldn't put a little post out that said, "Hey, Captains for Clean Water, agrees with voting yes on 2, or we support this." You couldn't do that, but you can do this. That's where that's where now I'm confused. And again, Chris and I are friends, and I'm not going to be friends with Chris over this, but I'm questioning it. How can you do one but not the other?
Well, you know what my question is? We always say, and I'm not one way or the other. I don't think it's really necessary, but that's just an opinion. I'm not against it. But my question is we always say follow the money. Well, you guys talk about big money and such.
Yeah.
Last time I checked, which was 3 weeks ago, the total raise for the opposition to this was $5,500, and the money in support of it was $450,000, $350,000, which was put in by one group, that's that Roosevelt group, and another $100,000 that was put in by a former agricultural commissioner. Now, Dylan can probably tell me if I'm correct or not.
As far as the money spent in opposition and stuff like that, I don't think there's a really good measure, right? Because if you spend money in political, official channels, you have to record it, but you don't have to record. I've spent money supporting Yes on 2. I just bought a bunch of hats that say Yes on 2. I didn't record that money. No one knows that I spent that money. So I don't think there's any good measure. As far as political contributions, that's measured, but there's a lot of ways around that, man. Look at today's political world.
When I saw it, it was so lopsided that I checked on 2 or 3 different sources and found it to be the same.
Interesting.
So interesting. And when there's money like that, you're wondering, well, who's behind it?
Right.
And
what's the deal? Yeah. Where there's smoke, there's fire.
IOTR, the Roosevelt
That's the only
group.
reason I questioned why Captains for Clean Water didn't support it. I'm looking to see whether there's a catch somewhere.
Right. That's what I said. Listen, when I heard Chris wasn't supporting it, you can ask Dylan.
Mm-hmm.
I lit like a firecracker, dude. I'm like, are you kidding me? The dude's a fishing guide, an ex-fishing guide.
He had
a conservationist. I was hot, bro.
Mm-hmm.
I went marching to their booth to find him. Like, really happy that I didn't find him on my first pass because I was lit.
Mm-hmm.
And
well, I've heard him talk, and he sounds like a good guy. And
he's a good guy, as far as I can tell.
Question, maybe he can come on and tell us. I don't know if they have a number or limit on how many subjects they can support. I'm sure it's self-imposed.
Right, exactly.
Within their group.
Sure. Great call, Richard, as always. Enjoy your workout, brother.
All right, we'll see.
All right, partner. Good stuff. Good call, man. I love Richard's so passionate. I love that passion. He's on the water all the time. He's a regular listener.
Keeps us in check.
Does his homework. Yeah, he's checked me up several times. God bless. Good Lord knows I need the help.
But we still don't like manatees.
That's right. Well, how did manatees make it? How did that happen?
That's his thing. Richard's always about manatees.
The little Captain Mike is pouring over on Dylan here to see what's happening. Lingering up the good soul over there. What's happening? We'll be back wrapping things up on the other side. 970 WFLA.
They sell new and used boats, including Sea-Hunt, and specialize in repowers and are a Yamaha and Mercury certified warranty center with over 1 million parts in stock to keep you on the water. They have in-house financing and truly make buying a boat an enjoyable experience. Whether you're a first-time buyer or seasoned skipper, Barclay Daniels with an interesting take. State of Florida should lease the land along the expressway to tree companies. They could grow the trees, then harvest them, provide a product, and pay the state for use of the land.
Mm-hmm.
That makes way too much sense.
That seems way too logical.
Yeah.
DOT has easements around the interstates. Actually, it's probably federal land around the interstates, right?
Yeah. I don't know. It's a good question. I'm sure it's DOT of some kind, but I don't understand. But again, it's our land. It's not. Ben Marshall and I have been very, very good friends for a long time, and I've never wanted to choke him out except that morning. When he told me that, when I went off on the tree thing, and he told me that that's DOT money. That's not Florida money. That's DOT money. I'm like, it's our money.
Mm-hmm.
DOT doesn't make money, just like the government. They don't make money. They're not a company. They're surviving off of our money. So you can put in whatever pool you want. It's ours, not theirs. And they should be doing what we tell them to do with our money. That's their job. And in case you need someone to remind them, let me know. I've got some pens.
Punch a jackwagon t-shirt. That's a good one.
It is. It's a great day to punch a jackwagon. And Richard is right. It's a good way to get shot, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Schedule now at FloridaOneHour.com. And remember,
I do have a saying. If you're going to open your mouth, you should be ready to go.
Mm-hmm.
Drives me nuts.
I think it's a Navy SEAL saying, or just military saying in general, though, is you don't want the fight to ever be fair, right? If you're going to choose to punch someone, you got to be prepared to escalate.
It happens, it happens. I've had a couple of instances here in the last year or two where people just like start barking, and then I'm like, okay, let's do this. Mm-hmm. Oh, so you didn't want to do it, you just wanted to bark. Mm-hmm. That makes no sense. Like, don't open your mouth. Just keep your mouth shut. Be disgruntled, go wherever it is you want to go hide. Talk about it later, whatever. But if you're not willing to go, then why do you open your mouth?
Mm-hmm.
And again, I'm not a badass. chance you could whip my ass. But I didn't open my mouth.
Yeah.
Now your captains, Mike Anderson and Dylan Hubbard.
This morning, 7:55. Beautiful Saturday morning. The Bucks look good last night. Yeah, what do you think, John Mahone? I think the Bucks are good, huh?
First team offense is very sharp.
They did. They look good. I like what I saw. So very excited. Football season. Weather's getting right. Yeah, all that good stuff. Programming note, don't forget we are
Yes.
Tuesday, October 8th.
Okay.
Tuesday, October 8th. I have too many notes in front of me, and I have an old note. I'm looking at the date going, that's not the right date. Tuesday, October 8th, 6 to 8 p.m. We're back at Bartow Ford, the Bartow Ford Real Animals Fishing Conversation.
I was concerned that you smelled toast or your one side was a little numb. I was like, is he okay?
He's losing it. A good friend, Dana at Silver Ring Cafe, serving up the food, Bull Bay rods, Ingle coolers, Real Animal swag. D-Hubs is going to join me, as is Captain Travis Thompson. We are going to be talking Vote Yes on 2. We're going to be talking inshore and offshore, answering all your questions. We'll have a ton of goodies to give away. It's going to be a great event. Learn more about the ins and outs of this Vote Yes on 2. We've got the right people there, having Dylan and Travis there to talk about it all. Is going to be huge. And then, I'll bring Bic pens for everyone in case, just be helpful.
There's also a Yes on 2 fundraising event coming up September 12th from 5:30 to 7. If you want information on that, you can shoot me an email to info@hubbardsmarina.com. I'll send you the info.
It's at Shooters World.
It's at Shooters World in Tampa.
At Shooters World.
September 12th, 5:30. It's going to be a great time.
The nice lady called me to speak at the event, and I'm like, it's where? Shooters World. Let me look at my book real quick. I'm going to be in Gainesville. I'll be at the CCA banquet in Gainesville that night. Otherwise, I would have been there. You're there? Are you talking?
Yeah.
Attaboy. You'd have been there with me. We'd have both been there. It'd have been fun. You could have kept me in check.
Yeah.
It'd have been good.
I probably would have let you go on that one.
Shooters World. How good would that be?
It's going to be awesome.
That's flawless, man.
Yeah.
I love that.
I'm very, very honored to be able to speak at Shooters World. I feel like I made it in life.
Don't forget, if you're looking for windows, check out our good friends at reeswindows.com. Nobody does it better. Over 50 years in the business. Also, check out our good friends at Power Pucks, the world's first power-supplied trolling motor quick-release bracket. That's right. It eliminates all the cords and stuff on your deck. Gone. PWRPUX.com. Check out Power Pucks today. Good stuff. John Mamola, thank you so much, brother. We appreciate you more than you know. He was keeping us in check. He literally gave me the index finger at one point during the show. I looked over there and he was indexing me.
Calm it down. Calm it down.
Yet. Give me a second.
Been a parent for too long.
Yes, well, we definitely challenge your parenting skills. I'm sure of that.
Real Animals team.
That's right. That's right. Nobody does it better. All good stuff. Well, we got tomorrow's show. Make sure you check us out 7 to 9 a.m. The T. Mahoney Company Real Animals Radio Show.
And check out tomorrow night, the live show, 7:30 p.m. We're going to be talking all about that golf council meeting, filling in on what happened. You don't want to miss out on that. Don't forget, if you're too busy to go fishing, you're just too darn busy.
You are just too darn busy. Get out there and catch them up, everybody. Tight lines. Have a great day again. Thanks, John Mamola. We appreciate you, brother. Have a great day.
All right, y'all. Have a good day. Thanks for tuning in and joining us. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed the show. Hopefully, we'll see you again next Saturday, 6 a.m. to 8 a.m. every Saturday. Tomorrow, 7 to 9 on 620 WDAE if you want to hang out with this super mature fellow over here and his group tomorrow morning, 7 to 9. Also, tomorrow night, 7:30 p.m. for the live stream show. We're going to be talking all about the Golf Council meeting, answering your questions, and giving away free stuff. $1,500 in free stuff every Sunday night at 7:30 p.m. So hopefully we'll see you tomorrow for the Real Animals Sunday morning, the live show tomorrow night on the Real Animals Facebook page and Hubbard's Marina Facebook pages, and next week for another Saturday show. Thanks, y'all. What? Oh, he was just giving you one of these.
I'm a bowler.